Garcia could do a good job there. I mean, never mind. It's only for like a little bit of time. Oh, adding someone like as Escobar worth and basically for free. Hmm. Hmm. Or Jae Hyun or Lee Jae Hyun. Or Jae Hyun or Lee Jae Hyun. Or Jae Hyun or Lee Jae Hyun. Given our money, let's given our money, let's given our money, let's
Hey, good afternoon, baseball fans. This is Gorgo 2005, welcoming everybody to the channel today. Oh man, what a day it has been.
Hey, good afternoon,
Hang on a second,
fans.
bear with me. I've got a little
Welcoming
bit of an
everybody to the
echo I
channel
need to
today.
kill. Okay, I've killed the echo, I do believe. Okay. But anyway, we had two different teams make playoffs today. My second team, the Wildcats, and my third team, the Juggernauts, both made playoffs, and trying to remember now who it was. I believe it was the Wildcats that had a sim just come in that will determine their playoff future. The Juggernauts have already determined their future with the sim that came in at about quarter till the hour. So we'll cover all those guys once we get into those two teams. But I'm going to start with my main team, the Flames. But let me get myself set up here first. I need to get out of where I'm at without moving out of OBS. And I need to get myself set up and ready to go to the main team. So let's go ahead and hop right in. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm now, I believe, ready to sign on to the Flames main team here. And let's see here. Okay, so I've got all of my tournaments are spammed. I don't have to draft a team, for quite some time. I can do that tomorrow morning after breakfast, I believe. And we will be back in Diamond one more time, because we have the good news that I get to impart once we get in to take a look at the team. The changes that I made yesterday, that I'll go over in just a second, seemed to have helped. We had a 16 and 11 day, I believe that's what it was. Let me double check in Discord, and I can tell you for sure. But I'm pretty sure I went 16 and 11. I think I was 5 games over 500. And yeah, there we go. No, I went 17 and 11. Okay, I went 17 and 11 to turn up this particular league result, and we will look at it from the promotion relegation standings. I ended up 3 whole games out of the drop zone. I was buried in here for like a couple of 3 days, and I thought, okay, for sure I'm going to get sent back to gold. So late Friday, early Saturday, I put in some changes, took some underperforming cards out, put in some speculative, at least one speculative card, and we'll show you what that was here in just a bit. And I had to make some moves to, that is some roster moves, in order to cover all my positions, to make sure that everything was properly backed up. So if we take a look at my lineups, you'll see a little bit about what I had going here. I took out a very poorly underperforming Ellis Burks, who was basically a backup in center field. He was also a DH backup. So I took him out. He was only batting on the interstate, and so was Cal Ripken Jr. Both of them were under 200 batting average. So we took them out and put in Davy Concepcion again. And he and his better defense seemed to help things out a little bit. And I can show you more here in just a second. But Concepcion was put in at first. It's at the first string shortstop. I moved out Ellis Burks, and I ended up putting Kevin Kiermaier in for the first time in center field with that sterling 107 defense. He did not do too badly. He only ended up on the interstate also, but he did end up, with the short amount of time he was in, he did have a home run and 3 ribbies, and he only had a negative WAR of minus 0.1. So for the short time he was in, that was not too shabby. The real disappointment was Shoeless Joe. He had a pretty poor season. Even though he ended up batting 267, he was expected to do much, much better. Look at those negative batting runs. He made negative 16.6. And look at down here, Concepcion's negative batting runs, which was one of the reasons I took him out to begin with. He did end up with a 244 average, though. I think his defense helped make up the difference. But we did go 17-11 in that final season. One other change that I made, besides putting Concepcion back, taking Ellis Burks out and Cal Ripken out, was, like I said, bringing in Kiermaier. He didn't bat too much better, but he wasn't too shabby. He had a 255 BABIP and 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts. Some folks in Discord were really, really surprised at this particular stat line on this guy. Hank Aaron, and we'll take a look at his card in just a moment, ended up with 38 home runs and, get this, 34 stolen bases, with getting caught 13 times. Not that many people, I think, are making or asking Hank to steal for them. It was remarked in the Discord that they didn't know what I was doing, but it seems to be working, that Hank is stealing bases where other Hanks tend not to. I really can't put my finger on it myself because I just got regular sliders set. But let's look at his card and look at how he has fared since I acquired Mr. Hank Aaron. And we take a look down here at the bottom of the card. Look at the home runs. Very, very shockingly consistent. 38 home runs a year for the 4 full seasons he's played for me. And take a look at the stolen bases. 33, 34, 38, 34. He has been a 30-30 player for me every year since he's been active on my squad. So, and he's got a decent WAR, 5.1, 6.0, 5.5, 5.3 this most recent season. And he came on like a house on fire at the end of the season. You probably saw back there on the lineup thing that shows that he's on a hot streak, and he most certainly was. Brooks Robinson ended up pretty hot too. He ended up 276, and the short time that I had him active, he managed 12 home runs and 27 ribbies. So really not too bad for the Bill to Brooks perfect card, which I was lucky to be able to finish off by buying 5 cards for about 23.5K, because I jumped in to the card shop immediately when the missions became active, and I started getting my cards as quickly as I could grab them before other people could grab them and put them up for sale at a higher price. So I managed to get all 5 of the cards that I needed, and that's another thing of preaching to the choir here, that you keep missionless cards that could come into a mission later, because I had all but 5 of the cards that I needed to finish Perfect Brooks. I had every single last card that I needed for all of those other missions that came out on Thursday night. They were, every single one of them, except for the Bill to Brooks, auto-completed, and then all I had to do was buy the 5 Brooks cards, and boom, I was done. That's why you hang on to cards that could be in a mission later. I could not illustrate a much, much clearer point. So, anywho, my Bill to Brooks ended up with the 4th highest average on the team. The only 300 average I had was Georgie Sisler. That was the draw that I had on Wednesday. So, yeah, he had a decent half season, I guess you could say. There 58 games, 51 of them started, and ended up batting .303. And he had, 6 home runs and 32 ribbies. He could have been interesting to see over a whole season, and I will get to see him in Diamond next starting tomorrow morning, because he is he's going to be able to put in a full season in Diamond, and we'll check him out then. What have I got here? Maxwell's Hammer number 2. Okay, Maxwell's Hammer number 2. Thank you for your follow on the channel. And I also need to shout out some random dude, 777, who came in between yesterday's stream and today's stream. Thank you both very much for your follows on the channel. D. Goyce says only sell your duplicates. There's a little bit of an exception I'm starting to take there, because I'm finding out that my duplicates of missionless cards can also be speculated. Okay, you see where I'm leading here? It's a value call that everybody's going to have to make on their own. My value call was not to sell any missionless dupes. I'm hanging on to them, hoping that they will be worth something later on. And just because it's a dupe. Hi, Minerva. Just now saw you popping in there. My strategy page, I can show a little bit of that. Hang on a second there, Bonaldi. My strategy page is basically what I use anywhere and everywhere, including all of my perfect drafts. Yep, Brooks was the key there, Erie GM. Yep. So let's see what that strategy page looks like. And what my overall strategy is, I go sabermetric with one exception. I bump up my steel bases. I knock it up 5 notches. It starts out way down here. I bump it up to here. Okay? That's what my overall strategy is. And I don't know how much the overall comes into play, because I have every one of my pitchers and players on override. Okay? Every one of my pitchers and players is on override. And the only one that I really care to show you right now, just for proprietary purposes, I will show you Hank Aaron. And there's nothing really remarkable about him. I've got him turned up 3 notches. I could go 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, no, there's 5 notches on that side. He's on the middle one. He's on the middle one of the 3. Base running, same. Hit and run, same. Bunt, hit for a bunt, right down the middle, and sacrifice bunt next to the lowest. But that's where I have my Hammer and Hank set for stealing and base running, and the overall looks like this. The base running looks the same as Hank's, and the overall steal is 1 notch less than Hank's. So I don't really know how, if at all, this overall stuff plays into individual players, whether or not it sets a team philosophy towards some things, and the other settings that I put on the individual players indicates their individual tendencies to go with or against the flow of the overall team. Okay, so it's really kind of a crazy philosophy I'm trying to use here. I'm going under the impression that the overall team stuff does have a role somewhere. I just don't know what it is. But my most important thing I can do is on the player side and show you what I have for an individual player. And this is the only one I'm going to give away for right now, is showing you how I have my Hank set up for him to steal as much as he steals, and successfully so. Okay? So that's basically it. Like I say, I've got every single one of my pitchers and position players set up to override. So I've got individual settings set up that may coincide or differ from the overall team philosophy that's on the other screen. But I don't know how much of the overall team stuff filters down to the individual player level, if at all. Okay, I have another sim coming in, so it doesn't matter, because this team just barely survived relegation, let alone making the playoffs. So I don't have anything to reveal here other than what I already have as far as the team strategy goes. And you see where I ended up 22 games out of the lead, but I already showed you where I ended up 3 games above the drop zone, and there's Hank's 30-30 status down there. He has never failed to be a 30-30 player for me in the 4 seasons I've had him. But look at here, since yesterday's pack rip, I've already picked up 18 packs, and that didn't include 5 that got opened on stream yesterday. So I've been adding to my number quite steadily. And I don't buy packs on this account. These are all earned from tournaments or drops or whatever else. And speaking of drops, you won't see me going out to pick up drops today because I already got my drops from Tesuiji's stream, which preceded and is overlapping a little bit with mine. He's still going, I think. So anyway, yeah, Tesuiji had a big power outage. He was out of power for like 24 hours up in Canada. He was part of a really big grid breakdown with the storms that went through. So he's just now starting to recover for lost time that he missed while he wasn't able to stream. That's why he did a surprise stream earlier today before an overlapping mine, which is not a problem. You know, I love the guy. He's doing great things for the game. So no arguments or any protestations on my part. I'm just glad to see him streaming again. So, and I was able to go out and get all my drops off of him today instead of perhaps the other way around, which, you know, sometimes is wont to happen, but that's fine. So anyway, we are pretty much done looking at this outfit. We have picked up 18 packs, and we're hoping to get some more over the course of the day. So let me see if I need to spam any tournaments here. And I do not need to spam any, but I do want to take a look at my longest running one, which is this 86 way back here. It's 18 away from my most recent one running, so I'm hoping that maybe by now I have qualified for some more packs, because I haven't picked up any packs today other than my drops. I'm hoping to qualify for some packs because I love to get them packs. So we'll see what they're up to. And, okay, I had to win a game to keep from getting swept. Let's see, I would have been knocked out 4-1, except I won this most recent game 8-1. I've got 7.5 minutes before I either get knocked out or we go to a game 7. But I just heard something else on the channel, and we have Tesuiji, Speak of the Devil. Thank you so much for your raid. We appreciate it greatly. Yeah, because I was just mentioning your stream that I got all of my drops off of, so now I don't have to get any. So thank you so much for streaming today. We were so glad to get to see you, and we're hoping that everything is starting to get back to normal from your big power outage where you were out for a day. I hope you were able to salvage your food that you had in cold storage. So I know that we've had a problem, not from a power outage, but from a malfunctioning unit that our refrigerator went out and was out for a better part of a week or so, and we had to utilize a cooler. Plus, one of our daughters gave us some freezer space in their garage beer fridge. They have a separate beer fridge sitting out in their 2-car garage, and they had a whole bunch of room, so we ended up filling that up quite a bit. So yeah, it was that was a wild time, and I can imagine. Oh, it wasn't power, Tesuiji, it was your internet. Oh ho, well, that still stinks. Yikes. Okay, did they figure out what? I guess it's an internet grid thing. Huh. I hope that. Okay, it was like it was a system-wide outage from what I understood, but I was misinterpreting it as being a power outage, not an internet outage. Big network hardware issue all fixed now. Oh, the biggest ISP. I see, Bonaldi. Another Canadian there. Okay. So, yeah, we got the Tesuiji, we got Bonaldi, and we also have Crazy Canuck, who is a good streamer as well, affiliate, and you can get drops from Crazy Canuck, and he's Canadian as well. So, your biggest... Oh, it's Rogers? Okay. There you go. Thank you there, Bonaldi. Yeah, is Rogers the same outfit that the Rogers Center is named after? I'm guessing that it is. The baseball stadium that used to be the Sky Dome is now. I think it's now the Rogers Center. So I'm pretty sure. I'll bet it's named after the same company. Got it. Thank you, Bonaldi. I appreciate that. So anyway, So, Tesuiji, thank you so much. I hope you had a great stream. In fact, I know you had a great stream because I was there for a good part of it. Oh, Rogers owns the Jays. Ah, they don't just have naming rights to the stadium; they got naming rights to the Rogers Blue Jays, right? They could name them the Rogers Blue Jays, except I think Major League Baseball might have a little exception to that. So, anywho, let's see. Because I think I've already waxed poetic about the brief spell of time that I actually spent in downtown Toronto when our kids were still living at home. We made a trip to Niagara Falls, and we took a day trip around the west end of Lake Ontario and made it up to Toronto and spent a large part of the day there. We spent some time on the subway system. We spent some time in the Royal Ontario Museum. Loved that place, especially their Egyptian exhibit. And we understand since then, and I believe it might have been Tesuiji that told me that the Egyptian exhibit at the Royal Ontario Museum is so big now that they had to build a whole new wing for it. So that would be worth a return trip, I think, all by itself. So hold on. We will see what's going on. How much time do I have before this next sim comes in? Do I have time to stick around? Oh, I still have 3 minutes. I'm going to say heck with it. Let's go take a look at my number 2 team, the Wildcats, because they, I think, are the most recent team to have met a fate in the postseason. And we will see. Boom. Okay. Alrighty, so I've got all my tournaments. My Ace of Irons are fully spammed. I'll check out 24 here in a bit. But here's the tail, and you can probably tell from the whiny sound of my voice, it didn't turn out too good. We did make the playoffs. We won our wild card series, but look at here. We went to a game 5 with the Eden Prairie free agents. We won our first 2 games against Eden Prairie. We got reverse swept in the division series. We were up 2-0, and they came back and took the next 3. That sucked. So anyway, GG's to them. They get promoted to gold. This is a silver league, so I get to spend yet another season in silver. Because only the top 4 teams, that means you had to win a division series to make it to the sub-league series in order to earn promotion. Didn't happen for this outfit. Nope. Not my Wildcats. They did not do too well. So, we will spend another season here in silver. And you can take a look and see what I've got going as far as personnel. Some of these are mission rewards, and most of the others are cards that I luckily drew somewhere or other. And you can tell that I picked up 2 cards that got promoted in the last live update. They got promoted to perfect status. Kevin Gaussman and AJ Minter. So I've got AJ in my bullpen, and Gaussman's part of my routine. Oh, I got an Ace of Iron that ended. Okay. So yeah, I've got a decent looking team here for depending on cards that I draw from packs to be responsible for any successes that I get, either on the mission front or on the just plain use the cards on the team that I draw sort of front. But Freddie Freeman, he's another one that made it up to perfect. Nicky Lopez got nerfed a little bit. He's back down in silver, but I'm keeping him for his defense and for his ability to back up so many positions. And he still doesn't do too shabbily here, but you can see his last season, he sucked at 147 or 146. He didn't do too good, so I'm probably looking at maybe replacing him. But I've got the perfect Luis Gonzalez that I drew here not too terribly long ago. And Kyle Tucker, who I'm kind of surprised didn't make it up to Diamond, but he's at an 89 right now. So I've got him in right field. I got the splendid Splinter, Ted Williams, and Don Mattingly, another card that that I managed to pick up via a draw. He's sitting out in left field. So I got 3 left fielders: Luis Gonzalez, Don Mattingly, and Ted Williams. One of them gets to DH, maybe 2 of them if they platoon back and forth. Ha. So that's what these guys are looking like. And you can see they came within 3 runs of making it up to gold. So no problems there. I'm just happy to have gotten into the playoffs, and we had a shot. I mean, like, we had a really, really good shot. So let's get out of here, and we will go take a look at team number 3, the Juggernauts, because I got 2 Ace of Irons I need to spam here. Let's see. We will get one of them, and I'll pick up another one on the way back, because we're going to go to see team number 3, and I don't have to do anything at all until tonight before I go to bed to draft this team. So nothing pressing there. We are going to do an historical simulation today, and it's going to be the undefeated and still champion 1927 New York Yankees, and they're going to be taking on a mystery team to be announced later. Okay, I don't have anything to spam here. We're all caught up to date. Let's see. Okay, perfect draft number 3. I can do this one here before I go to bed tonight, so I don't have to worry so much about that. The Monday morning meeting, I'll probably have to draft them. Oh no, they're already drafted. They are already drafted. I drafted them by mistake. I usually wait a little longer, but they got drafted by mistake when I misclicked and had to go ahead and draft them anyway. So let's see what these guys did, because these folks made the postseason also in bronze 208. They came in the top wild card, and they got to play home team for their division series. Okay, and you can see up here we lost game 1 of the division series and came back and won the next 2 at home. So we won our wild card best of 3. 6-3, 11-3 on the 2 that we won, but we lost pretty handily 13-7 on the opener. Then we came into the division series against our division mates, the Carroll City team. I forget what their full name is. I have to come out here to see it. The Carroll City Catboys, that's right. So I had a 7-12 record against them during the regular season, and they took game 1. I took game 2. I took game 3, and I was within 1 game of making it up to silver. Okay, but I lost game 4, 6-1. They evened up the series, and then we go back to their ballpark, and this one here is really, really sad. You'll see how it turned out. I spotted them to a 3-0 lead. I came back and made it 3-2 after 7 innings. And then I went ahead 4-3 in my half of the 9th inning. So what did they do? They sent their fans home happy, and deliriously so, with 2 runs of their own to walk it off and take the series and win promotion up to silver from bronze. So this team gets to stay put again in bronze for 1 more season. So we're still very, very hopeful that they will make it up to silver one of these days. One of these days, but who knows? Right now, really, who cares? But anyway, these guys are. I'm pretty encouraged by the cards I've been picking up lately. I got myself a perfect DeGrom the other day, but I haven't found any place to put him in yet. Mostly because Max Fried hasn't been doing too badly. Look at his ERA. 0.36. Would you take Fried out? I've got him in my pen right now. Would you take Fried out? I wouldn't. Take a look at AJ Minter. 2.74 ERA for a live card. Would you take him out? I wouldn't take him out. These other pitchers are all historical. I've got the really hot Benitez card in the closer role. Frank Tanana, Kurt Schilling, Milt Pappas, Sparky Lyle, John Lackey. Then my starting pitching, Mark Pryor, Pedro Martinez, Tim Lincecum, the 95 historic Kershaw, not the live 93, or it's now, I think it's an 88 or an 89 now, live Kershaw, and Leon Day, okay? Would you find any place in there to put live DeGrom? I couldn't. So I'm not so sure. I may be selling him eventually. Look at the collection. You can see the cards that I've got that I can sell. I can sell the live DeGrom, who's worth close to 20K anyway on his L10. Now I've got Fried I can sell, but he's been doing pretty well for me lately, so I'm not really doing anything with him yet either, okay? He's on the way back up with his L10 because it hasn't caught up with his perfect status yet. His perfect status would mean he's worth 20K. If he starts stinking up the joint for me, I may end up quick selling him. See, because look at how many packs I could buy. If I sell Goldschmidt, which I don't have room for because I'm already using Freddie, the only reason I'm hanging on to Goldschmidt for now is in case Freddie has a bad year and I can take him out and put Goldie in, okay? So I got another Iron Best of 5 I need to spam. But anyway, I've got 3 cards here that I could sell for 60K if the mood hits me, and I could buy 60 packs with that. Yeesh, talk about a pack ripping session. I could go to town with that one. I could really, really use up a lot of time in just one stream with just this team and those 60 packs. So anyway, yeah, you can see some other ones here that I've got. I've not been able to find a place to use 99 Aaron Judge either, because he's a live card, and I can't really do too much with him either because my outfield is pretty packed. My outfield is very packed. Between the cards that I've got here, I've got Chicken Wolf, I've got Stan Musial, and that Chicken Wolf for a gold card, he plays like a diamond. This gold card, because it's a tournament reward, this gold card plays like a diamond card. So he's out in right. I've got Stan the Man, spending some time there. Another tournament reward, Kenny Lofton, and that silver card plays like a diamond also. Look at that. Look at the stats on him. Batting .292 with a .403 slugging. Holy crap, what a card that is. He definitely plays, instead of like a silver card, he plays like a diamond card. So I'm playing 2 tournament rewards in here. Nicky Lopez, I already talked about him. He got nerfed from gold down to silver. Jeff Kent is my only other remaining card that isn't diamond or perfect, because his defense and his bat hold things up pretty well at second base. See, I've got him. He batted .275 this most recent season. It's his best one yet. So I haven't had a reason or an excuse to take him out yet. But you can see, okay, who I've got sitting over here in reserve. I got me a Trey Turner that I drew the other day. I've still got the outfield Kiermaier I could use, and I haven't been able to use him because of all the other stuff that I've got going on here. Between Kenny Lofton and Billy Hamilton, would you do anything with let's see now, Billy Hamilton did not have the best batting year this year. He only batted .202, but Kevin Kiermaier did not exactly prove his mettle, except on defense when I played him on my diamond team, the Flames. I put him in there because Ellis Burks was really, really not hitting well at all. In fact, Kiermaier never got off the interstate either, but at least his defense was helping pick up some of that slack. See, I've got Addy Joss here that could be pitching. I'm not using him. I've got Tommy Conley. I could be using him. There's the Peavy that I picked up the other day. Okay, this nice 93 Peavy. I'm not using him yet either, because the stuff I've got already over here, I haven't had any excuse to get rid of them. So we'll see, because I've got some interchangeable parts here. I may need to reshuffle the deck eventually next season when we get to repeat bronze again. But for right now, I think I'm doing okay, and I haven't been paying the least bit of attention to chat. Okay. Oh yeah, Wheezy. There you go, buddy. That was you, because it was Wheezy 444. I think was the manager on that one. Yeah, GG to you on that. On the team that knocked me out of the playoffs, and you get to get promoted up to the next level. So wishing you nothing but the best luck on your promotion, and go up there and kill them, because I'd sure be trying it myself. Okay. PV has been good for long relief for you, your mama Goofy. Yeah. Okay. There's a good idea, perhaps. But you can already see I got Freed and Minter, who have been looking really nice for live cards. They've been looking really nice in my pen. So we may eventually see here. Jeff Moe 4000. Thank you for following on the channel. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so you can see where my juggernauts are. This is my number 3 team, but they may be better endowed than my number 2 team, mostly because of the tournament rewards that they have, plus other cards that they have drawn that may be a little bit stronger. So we'll see what these guys are looking like, because I need to, I think, spam another tournament. So bear with me a momento here. Bear with me just a moment. I need to get out of this, come out to here, because we're going to go back to team number 2. Maybe take a look at them. Okay, I've got a tournament I've got to spam. I need the, let's see, this is, wait a minute, I forgot what team I'm on. I'm on 2 or 3? I'm on 3. Okay, so I got to spam an iron best of 5. All right, so they are looking right there's the one I need. Okay, so that's that. Now let's back up to team number 2, because I knew that I had at least one more to spam there anyway. And you'll see the difference in quality between the two lineups. This team here happens to be in silver, and they've been holding their own in silver. Almost got promoted to gold. Missed it by 1 game. So yes, I can spam another ace of iron. Oh, and I forgot to tell you too that I've already won a tournament with my iron team on the Juggernauts. They have already won a tournament today and got me 5 more packs. So, yeah, so all the teams are picking up packs ever since yesterday's big pack rip. We saw what was going on with the Flames. They're the ones that get the drops. But here, yeah, I've picked up 14 alone since yesterday's pack rip for the Wildcats here. And the Juggernauts, they're sitting about the same as the Wildcats. They have about the same number of packs after one day after the big pack rip. So they're doing well. I cannot complain. Wouldn't do me any good anyway. But let's take a look at this team, and you'll see what I mean about it being not quite as healthily endowed as the Juggernauts. The Juggernauts have been a little better with their cards that they draw. They're getting better pack luck with their cards that they draw for the Iron Tournament team. Okay, so yeah, these guys also have AJ Minter that got promoted to perfect. Instead of Max Fried, they got Kevin Gossman, who also got promoted to perfect. But take a look at the rest of them. They've got the 95 historic Kershaw. They've got Liriano. They got Pedro. They got Pryor. They got the nice Rijo card that they drew. And there's another live card, Joe Mantiply, that has been really doing well too. 3.49 ERA over 56 games. So he's not doing too badly either. Rodon is down in the pen. Santana's in the pen. And Josh Hader is the closer. And he got buffed up to a 98 from where he was before. So yeah, he's not looking too bad. And for my catchers, you see I've got Yogi sitting out there. And I'm not going to play spoiler, but Yogi does have a role in today's mystery team that is going to be playing the undefeated and still champ 1927 Yankees. So Yogi's a catcher. Gabby Hartnett's a catcher. I've still got Jimmy Fox. There's Freddie Freeman. He's in there. I've got Tommy Edman that got nerfed from diamond back to gold. There's Nicky Lopez again. Okay, he seems to pop up. And that Luis Gonzalez perfect historic card that I picked up, that was a really, really decent draw for this team. And that Robin Yount card, holy moly, he does it pretty well too. 276 batting average and 442 slugging. Yes, sirreebies, thank you very much. We like that card. So yeah, all of these cards aren't looking too bad. They're not looking too bad. They did get me into the playoffs. They missed promotion by just a whisker. So I'm really pleased with what they're doing as well. All right, let's go back and take a look at the main team again, because I wanted to show you a couple of 3 stats on one card in particular that I picked up just yesterday for anybody who was on chat and watched what I drew yesterday. He had a decent 6 games that he played for me. So let's get out of here. We don't have to do any spamming. We are done spamming. So let's go take a look at these guys, because right here is where I'm going to be running the historic simulation. Okay, so I do need to spam an ace of bronze, so let's go take care of that. Right there, okay? And I want to see... 99 is now my longest one. The one that was in there before, I think I got knocked out in the quarterfinals. I almost had to have gotten knocked out in the quarterfinals. But anyway, I wanted to show off the one new card that I added yesterday. Before I went to bed, I stuck this guy in the pen. And anybody who was watching yesterday's Big Pack Rip saw me get this dude. And who am I talking about but perfect, historic Rob Nen. He only pitched over 6 games, gave me 6.2 innings of work, allowed 2, count them, 2 hits, no earned runs, 0.30 whip, struck out 6, 8.1 Ks per 9, no walks per 9, no home runs per 9, 133 on the BABIP, 999 on the ERA plus, and 0.2 on the WAR. I mean, over 6 games, could you imagine anything better than that? So I'm going to leave him right where he was at the end of this season. We're going to leave him in the closer spot, because the guy I had in there as my late stopper before, I used to have Kurt Schilling in there. I took out Nolan Ryan out of long relief. I put him in reserves because he was stinking it up with a 6 point something or other ERA. Okay, I took him out and I moved Schilling from the stopper spot where he was doing really well, just a little over a 3 ERA, moved him to long relief because he's got the stamina to do it. It was either him or Pedro, and Pedro's 5.98 didn't look as nice as Schilling's 3.28. Okay, so anywho, Schilling went into long relief. My new closer, Rob Nen, went into the stopper role, and I just love those numbers. Absolutely love those numbers that he gave me. I want to see how he does in an entire season. There were a few Rob Nens around the league this year. Got another sim coming in, but it won't make any difference to me because I'm not in the playoffs. Be kind of interesting to see how the league is looking as far as playoffs go. I'm a little curious. I want to see who's doing what here. Okay, we are in the League Championship Series, the LCS. Division Series, okay, so the wild cards. Okay, so the Willies and the Dyersville Ghosts. Okay, the Ghost won that one, it looks like. And the Cheney Veterans won theirs against the Tom Terrifics. Brooklyn Buzz, who's KK Fitz. KK Fitz won my division. and he must have been the 3 seed because he was in the wild card, and he got swept by the Oakwood Wolverines. Memphis Chicks swept the Yakima Bears, who I think they were the another wild card team from inside of my division. So the Brooklyn Buzz and the Yakima Bears, both of them got swept in their wild cards. So ouch, our division took it on the chin. Okay, so then the Cheney Veterans took 3 out of 5 from Joe Creedy, the Joe Creedy fandom. Okay, I think they show up in chat. And okay, the New Zealand Breaks, who's our Discord and Twitch buddy, he got knocked out 3-1 in their division series. Cheney won their division series. The Cheeto Cheetahs, we've seen them before many a time. They knocked out Oakwood 3-1. And the Memphis Chicks knocked out the Massachusetts Master Batters. Okay, so we've seen those guys around in chat and also in Discord. So now we are in the League Championship Series, and it's going to be Cheeto leading Memphis 2-0. And over here we got Dyersville taking on the Cheney Veterans and leading them 2-1. So yeah, the Cheeto Cheetahs, if you remember from looking at them last week about this time, you saw how loaded these guys are. In fact, let's go take a look and see how loaded they are. I think I can get into them from here. I might have to get to them through another side door. Let's do the box score, and then we'll go here. Is that it? Nope, we won't do it that way. Oh, here we go. There's how I get to their team. Look at this roster, folks. Is that perfect league capable, or is it not? It's about the best team that I've seen around that hasn't made it to perfect league yet. Okay, they have every good card in the book. They have the limited edition David Price. They got Noodles Hahn. They got Red Ames. They got Big Train up here. Sheesh, are they ever hot? And look at all the 100s they have in reserve. They got dual Luis Gonzalez's. Eesh. Okay, so yeah, that's the some of the competition in my Diamond League. And these guys, if they haven't made it to Perfect League tomorrow, I wonder if they're ever going to make it with a lineup like this. No, it's really, really a hot lineup. So, anywho, it's about time for us to reveal our historical simulation for the day. And if I gave you the clue of Yogi Berra, does that tell you who I'm thinking about for the 1927 Yankees to play against in this the next series? Okay, can you guess who we're talking about? I'm giving chat a chance to try to give me a good guess, because Yogi Berra is your only clue. Split Ends is the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. 69 amazing Mets. You bet your booties, Split Ends. You got him right on the nose. The 69 Mets. The amazing Mets are going to be doing a Subway Series with their crosstown rivals, the 27 Yankees. Now, imagine, if you will, a Subway Series that instead of just a regular subway, it's a time machine between ballparks. The 1927 Yankee Stadium versus the 1969 Shea Stadium that hosted the Beatles for their first outdoor concert gig. Okay, ooh, that is going to be a pretty hot little series. It's going to be fun to watch. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And we got about an hour or so before I have to go out to the kitchen and tend to dinner. So we are going to do the historical exhibition. So the visiting team is going to be the 1969 New York Metropolitans. Okay, so they are the away team. We are going to select the era. Yep, baseball boom, 61 to 79. I'm going to pick 1969. Okay, and you know who we're looking for here, and we are looking for the New York Mets with 162. Baby. Okay, so then I'm going to disable injuries. And maybe what I want to do, let's see. I might need to figure out a way to enable and disable some other things. I'm going to see if I can get the AI to play a more active role in maybe warming up pitchers and doing substitutions and that sort of thing. Okay, so we need to do baseball's rebirth, and we'll choose 1927. And then we choose the Yankees. Okay, boom. Alrighty, so we have the Mets set up as the visitors, the 27 Yankees set up as the home team, and I'd say we're just about ready to get her going here. So let me see. I'm going to check out all my settings before we actually start this thing and make sure that I have things set to maybe optimize the AI a little bit more instead of me just doing throwing pitches and swinging away. Because I think I can maybe do some things to help the AI help me out more. Not because I'm a lazy old cuss, it's because sometimes I get tired of hitting pitch to the batter. Swing away, pitch to the batter. Swing away. Okay, so it's been set up. Okay, so now we've got rosters and lineups, teams and rules. Let's take a look back here, okay? I think we've already been there. We've been there and done that, haven't we? Okay. Yes, we have been there and done that. So let's go ahead. Okay, I guess we have to go ahead and put up with what we put up with. They have Nolan Ryan Express on the mound pitching against Wilcie Moore in Game 1. We are going to go ahead and simulate until we get to a deciding point or some sort of a tipping point where it's going to pay us off to actually play through the game. So we're going to simulate Game 1 of a World Series crosstown in the time machine subway between the Bronx and the let's see, that would be, I got to think now. Shea Stadium is right on top of JFK. What part of town is that? I think it's yeah, I think it's the Queens. I think it's the Queens where they're located. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. And the 27 Yankees won by a score of 5-2. Check chat real quick. Old Split Ends is going to have 3 teams in Diamond next week. Congrats, buddy. Gold playoffs with your 3rd team now. Good luck. I hope you make it with all 3. So let's take a look at the box score and see what happened where. According to this, the bottom of the first, Earl Combs hit a 2-run single versus Nolan Ryan. And then Mark Koenig hit a run-scoring single. That brought in 3 runs. Okay, so the Yankees are already ahead 3-0. The Mets come back in the top of the 2nd, and let's see how they did what they did. Because I don't have anything here in the synopsis frame that tells me how they did in the bottom or the top of the 2nd. So let's do the game log and it will tell us. Top of the 2nd. Here we go. Alrighty, so Jerry Grody got on with a single. And then there was an error in the outfield. The batter went to second base, okay. And then we had a ground out from Bud Harrelson that moved Grody to third. Then Cranepool reached on the second error against the 27 Yankees. Holy crap. 2 errors in 1 inning. Okay. Yeesh. And the error was on Lou Gehrig, for crying out loud. Okay. A ground ball to Lou Gehrig, and okay, so Grody scored, and that made it 3-1. Then an inning-ending double play. All right, so let's see. I'll hop and where. I'm going to be looking for scores here. And no score there. No score there. No score there. Triple leading off. But did they score? Yes, they did. They did get a score. So the Yankees went up, or is this the Mets? Oh, this is the Mets. Okay, so it became 3-2 at this point, top of the sixth, where Boswell hit a triple, and then we had a strikeout swinging for Shamsky. Tommy Agee hit it deep enough to score Mr. Boswell, and that's where they got their run. So it was 3-2 at that point. And then we keep on moving, and it looks like, yep, the Yankees got 2 more runs in their half of the 6th inning, and that would be their 4th and 5th and final runs, I guess, where we had a strikeout looking from Koenig to begin with, and Dugan got on with a hit by pitch. Then Will Seymour sack bunted Dugan over to second. Bob Musil hits a single, and then Dugan goes to third, but there was a throwing error on the right fielder, and it allowed Dugan to score. So the Mets got an error of their own that allowed Dugan to score and Musil to go to second base. Then Tony Lazzeri gets up and hits a triple on the first pitch he sees, and brings Musil home, and that makes it 5-2. And I think that was basically how the game ended up. So we go back to the game, I think. Come on, let's do it. I guess, oh no, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. Back to the box score, make sure that I had it. Yeah, the game was 5-2, and we saw how all the runs scored. Will Seymour won by doing a complete game 8-hitter. Only one of the 2 runs that was scored was earned. The other was unearned because of the error. And look at the error line. Both teams had 3 errors. Yikes! What a defensive nightmare in Yankee Stadium for Game 1. I mean, like if that is it's an ugly war of attrition, is what that is. And the Yankees happened to come out on top, despite giving up 3 errors. But then the Mets didn't help their own cause with 3 errors of their own. So heck, well, that's Game 1. Let's get back and let's take a look at finishing today, and then we'll do Game number 2. And see how we do in Yankee Stadium here. And the Mets came back and they won Game 2 8-3 to pull even. Take a look at this box score. I'll bet this will be fun. Okay, so making an impact was center fielder Tommy Agee. Went 3 for 4 with a double, 2 singles, and a walk, adding 3 ribbies and scoring once. So the win moves 1969 Mets into a 1-1 tie with the 27 Yankees. Okay, the game was all tied up in the top of the 9th until Agee delivered big time. He stroked a dramatic 2-run double off Wade Hoyt, who I guess had been pitching since the beginning of the game because he's a starter. He almost pitched a complete game. So the game-changing hit put the Mets on top 4-2. Holy crap. And they ended up getting 6 runs in that top of the 9th inning to go up 8-2. But the Yankees tried to come back, but all they could do was manage a single run. And the final score was 8-3. And look at there, 2 more errors from the 27 Yankees. That's 5 errors over 2 games. Yikes! Yeesh! Not good. Almost as bad as Reggie Jackson dropping the 3rd out in that one series that the Yankees won. Minerva says, okay, that his girlfriend's team is tied 1-1 in the 2nd round of the playoffs. Good grief. Okay, so Minerva, I hope she does well. Okay. Nothing else new in chat, so we're pretty much caught up there. Let's go back and finish the day, and we will have a travel day to go to the Queens and see the 69 Mets on the other end of the time machine in their ballpark, Shea Stadium. Okay, so we're going to simulate this one. We're tied up 1 game of each. Game 3 goes to Oh, baby, what a close score. Because they had Seaver pitching for them. Ooh. But, okay, Cardwell ended up taking the loss. Ouch. Let us get to the box score and see what it looked like. Look at that back and forth metric there. Yee. Okay, top of the first, Harrelson hits a 2-run single versus George Pipgras. Babe Ruth had a 2-run home run off of Seaver. Babe Ruth hit a solo home run off of Seaver in the 8th. And another solo home run off of Cardwell. Guess who won this ball game? Every single one of the 4 runs that the Yankees scored were courtesy of Bambino dongs. Holy crap. Talk about power. Woo! Long ball. I guess if I were dishing at 34, I'd be saying, ball go far, ball go far. 3 times already. But holy moly, what power display there from Mr. George Herman, Babe Ruth. If he wasn't named player of the game, I don't know who should have been. Okay, yes, he did get player of the game, because he scored all 4 runs. Okay, now what did it look like? 2 more errors for the Yankees, 7 errors over 3 games. And the Mets have 4 errors now over 3 games. They didn't have any errors in the previous game, in game 2. But they did have one here. The Yankees have 7 errors already in this series, and it's only 3 games old. But the Yankees also win because of the 53 or 56, I forget what the number is, ounce bat in the hands of George Herman Ruth. Whew. Man, what a ball player. What a ball player. Okay, back to the game. Okay, so were the groundskeepers on vacation, Fiddle and Nero? I almost have to guess they were, because yeah, the errors are abounding here. 7 errors for the Yankees and 4 errors for the Mets. Yee! Okay, so we'll finish today. Let's get to game number 4 in Shea Stadium and see what we see here. And we have us a tied series again. 69 Mets took on the Yankees and beat them 11-3 at Shea. Let's look at this box score. This should be a little bit of a one-sided affair. Crapola cola. 11 errors in 4 games for the Yankees. That's dang near 3 errors a game. They have 11 errors in 3 games. These guys must have left their gloves back home in the Bronx. No, they left them in their own homes and didn't even bother bringing them to either ballpark. That is the stinkiest defense I think I've ever seen in any sort of a series, simulated or otherwise. 11 errors in 4 games. Man alive, what a ugly. So if the 27 Yankees end up taking it on the chin and they take their first loss ever since we started doing these simulations, there's what you can point your finger at. The defense sucks. Just downright sucks. So let's see how the description of the game turned out. Okay, the largest share of the credit belongs to Jim McAndrew. Okay, he threw 9 innings of 6-hit ball. Okay, nice pitching from Jim McAndrew. Bud Harrelson, he had a run-scoring ground out in the bottom of the 4th, and for the game he was 1 for 5, scored 2 runs and drove in 3. Okay, they came out and played their butts off, said New York manager Jim Smith, who we already know from another name, and that would be Gil Hodges, was the actual manager's name, but that's another story. Okay, so the next game's going to be at Shea. Let's take a look at the game log and find out where those 11 runs came from, including a 7-run 5th inning. Oh my God, what a awful inning. Okay, so we have bottom of the 3rd, I think is where the first scoring takes place. And no, maybe it was bottom of the 4th. Okay, let's look again. Bottom of the fourth. Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's go to town. This is where the first 3 runs came across. Ken Boswell got on with the leadoff single on a 2-2 count. Then Shamsky hit by a pitch, so we got him on first and second with nobody out. A fly out from Tommy Agee out to center field. And then Jerry Grody gets up and hits a single. The bases are now loaded. The ducks are all on the pond for Bud Harrelson. He brought in... Okay, there was a fielder's choice out at second, but they did not get the out at first. And Boswell was able to score. And there's still now only 1 out. Shamsky's on third, and Harrelson's on first. So Ed Kranepool is now up. He hits a single that scores Shamsky. Harrelson rounds second, goes to third. So we still have him on first and third with only 1 out. And then on an 0-0 pitch, Wayne Garrett hits a single, scoring Harrelson. Kranepool to second. Yikes. Okay, so no, this is all with 2 outs. This is all 2-out action here. So, yeah, so there were your 3 runs. Harrelson came in on Garrett's hit. Shamsky came in on Kranepool's hit. And Harrelson came in on... Boswell came in on Harrelson's fielder's choice. So there's 3 runs, 3-0 Mets. Then we get to the bottom of the 5th. Okay, this is where some more action happened. This is where they scored 7 times and took a 10-1 lead. Yeesh. Okay, fly out from Cleon Jones to left field. And then Ken Boswell comes up and gets a single. So that's 34D. I guess that's the hole between first and second. Okay, that's the hole between first and second. And then Shamsky gets up and hits a double that knocks Boswell over to third. And then Agee gets up and singles in Shamsky. Or singles in Boswell and moves Shamsky to third. And then Jerry Grody gets up and he reaches on catcher's interference. Tommy Agee going to second, so now the bases are still loaded with 1 out. Harrelson gets up, hits a single, and we had a 2-run single there off the bat of Bud Harrelson because Shamsky scored. Tommy Agee came around third, and he came in to score. So that, so there's 2 runs on that particular hit from Mr. Harrelson. They brought in Urban Shocker at that point to pitch. Ed Kranepool on a 0-1 count hits a single, and that's in the hole between first and second. Okay, driving Grody to third, Harrelson to second, and Grody comes around and scores on the throw from right field to home plate. Okay, so there's another run. Now here we have runner from second tags up, safe at third on the flyout. Now there's 2 outs with Bud Harrelson now on third base. Wild pitch from Urban Shocker allows Harrelson to score. Kranepool now is on second base. And Jim McAndrew reaches on an error, a ground ball to the pitcher, I guess. That looks like, the error was on the pitcher. Kranepool scores. So that means Harrelson came in on the wild pitch. And Kranepool scores on the error from the pitcher. Cleon Jones is up there now. He hits a single on a full count to between 5 and 6. That would be between third and short. He hits a single on the ground between third and short, and there is McAndrew going to third. A throwing error on the left fielder, second error of the inning. McAndrew comes around to score. Cleon to second. And what do we have here? Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Boswell gets up. He hits a single. Have we batted around yet? Yeah, we will bat around because there's Cleon Jones right there. His presence at that particular point, they have batted around by then. He hit the single that drove McAndrew to third. Then the throwing error on the left fielder allowed McAndrew to score. Cleon went to second. So Boswell gets up. He hits a single that knocks Cleon over to third. Then Shamsky's up and grounds out from 4-3 from the second baseman to the first baseman. And the Mets are finally gone. But it's 10-1. The damage has really, really been done. So yeah, enough there on that. So we are tied up 2 games apiece, and we are ready for Game 5. And that's going to be also in Shea Stadium. Let's see who wins game number 5, because whoever wins this one, the next game we have to play out. Okay? And the Yankees are still in a position to keep their undefeated and still champ status. They came back and put a thumping on the Mets, 12-4. They got sick and tired of that 11-3 junk that they took in the previous game. They applied a little hurt of their own, 12-4. Yee. So I'm not going to go and look at this one. Oh man, take a look at this. Babe Ruth followed up his Game 3 performance, where he had 3 home runs back there. He had 4 home runs in game number 5. Can we believe this? 7 home runs in really covering only 2 games. 3 home runs in one and 4 in another. He drove in. I got to look at the box score. This is just insane. Gehrig had a home run. Pat Collins had a home run. Cranepool had a home run for the Metropolitans. But take a look at Babe Ruth. 6 ribbies from his 4, count them, 4 home runs. First inning off Nolan Ryan with 1 on, so there's 2 ribbies. 1 out. Okay, then second inning off of Nolan Ryan. No, and 2 outs. 7th inning off Greg Gentry. I believe it's Greg Gentry. Am I right? Gary Gentry. Okay. Gary Gentry with none on and no outs. And then 8th inning off of Cardwell with 1 on and 2 outs. So there's his 6 RBI. And I hear another thing there in chat. Tiberius 2K, thank you so much for your follow on the channel. We are starting to approach, I believe, 630 followers on the channel. Every last one of you greatly appreciated, because that helps the metrics on the channel. And do they have another miracle in them? They're going to need one by now, Fiddle and Nero. They RNG turned up the yips slider. I love it, Twanix. You are so right. But take a look at that set of numbers there. I mean, like, that's an incredible set of numbers. 4 more errors for the Yankees in Game 5, and they won anyway. That's, 15 errors in 5 games? That is an average now of 3 errors per game. 4 errors, 4 home runs. Babe Ruth is single-handedly winning this series for them. He's responsible for 2 of the 3 wins, you might as well say, because the fielding is not helping anybody do anything on either front, because there's 2 more errors on the Mets too. I don't think I've ever seen a worse defensive performance out of any team or any set of pair of teams in any one series. This is just downright pathetic. So we are ready to play out game number 6 that's going to take place in the Bronx after we have a travel day. So we're going to finish the day, and I'm going to finish another day, and we are ready for game 6 at Yankee Stadium. Let's play this one out, and we'll try to make it quick. I might do some jumping around to save time in case it looks close and we have a possibility of a game 7. Okay, so now let's see here. The general game options, since I'm playing it out. Okay, I'm going to do the strategy. We're going to make it computer AI on all of it. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do to let the computer AI do the deciding, okay? When I go to play it out, I do it all right here. Now that I'm aware where to do that, I'll remember to do it in the future. Oops, hang on, I want AI. AI. Okay, so alrighty, so I think we got it pretty well taken care of. General game options, no DH. Okay, use the warm-up rule. Okay, so everything's going to be run by the AI here. Okay, you ready? Let's go ahead and get ready to start this here ball game. And see if the Yankees can finally, or somebody, maybe even the Mets, finally have an error-free baseball game. Okay, so we're going to continue on. The AI is taken over, and here we go. So we have us. Okay. Wade Hoyt is on the mound, 22-7 with a 2.63 ERA. We don't get to see the count. Must have been on the very, okay, with one swing of the bat on the first pitch of the game. We have Lazzeri getting the ball and throwing out Cleon with the first out of the first inning. So we are moving on. We will continue on. The game's being decided by the artificial intelligence, and with a 3-1 count, ball 4 is issued to Ken Boswell. Still 1 out. Art Shamsky is up, and with a 2-ball count, he hits it out to deep left center. Deep left center, and Musel makes a very nice running catch to retire Mr. Shamsky. Okay, let's keep on moving. 2 outs now, and Ken Boswell still on first, and Tommy Agee, the cleanup hitter, now at the plate. Okay, with a 2-1 count, Agee hits it out to right field. Looks like a routine fly ball. He actually caught the ball. No errors in that inning. Ha! Ha! So Babe Ruth caught it. 3 up, 3 down, except for the walk to Mr. Shamsky. So nothing happened there. So it was effectively 3 up, 3 down because they wasted the walk. Alrighty, so after half an inning, it is 0-0, and the Yankees are coming up to bat. Okay, so Koosman is on the mound, and Tony Lazzeri is up, and he, with a 1-2 count, hits it, and it's going to drop for a hit. A base knock for Tony Lazzeri. He stands on first. Ha! A clean single for Push 'em Up Tony. Ha ha ha! Okay, I guess I never knew Lazzeri's nickname. Push 'em Up Tony. That's cool. So, 1 base runner on, nobody out, and up to the plate comes Bob Musel. Okay, and with a 0-0 count, okay, Lazzeri goes to third on the single to right field, so we have him on first and third with nobody out now. Still no errors, so that's a small miracle in and of itself. Let's keep on going. And we have us Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horses, up at the plate with men on first and third and nobody out. And there's a steal of second, and they got him out from here to there. So Grody throws the ball to second base and gets out Mr. Musel, and Lazzeri stays put on third. Okay, no double steal there, but Musel was out by a country mile. Okay, Lou Gehrig is still up. Now we're one out with Lazzari on third, and there's a 1-ball count. Now it's a 1-2 count. They chose to take the out at second base, but Lazzari came in on the Lou Gehrig ground out. So the Yankees are taking a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Okay, let me take a look-see here. Okay, 2 outs now. The Bambino with 7 dongs already in this series. 3 in one game, 4 in another game. Yeesh. So let's see what he does with 2 outs and nobody on base. And leadoff. Okay, he popped it out to the second baseman. I want to say leadoff when I should say first pitch swinging, and popped it out to the second baseman. So they're up and they're down. After 1 complete, it is now Yankees 1, Mets nothing. Okay, we'll keep on going here. So we still have Wade Hoyt on the mound. Jerry Grote is up, their catcher. And let's see what he does with a 1-1 count. Grote gets him was that a line drive? It is a line drive single to center field. I wasn't sure if he picked that up off on the fly or on the bounce, but it looks like he got it on the bounce. So we have Grote on first with nobody out, and coming to the plate we have us Bud Harrelson. Okay, facing Mr. Wade Hoyt, who incidentally was he was the Reds radio team pretty much all by himself for quite a long time for the Cincinnati Reds in Crosley Field, and then perhaps for a little bit. No, I don't think he ever announced in Riverfront. I believe by then Marty Brennaman had a spot on the radio team. So we're going to continue on. Mr. Harrelson is at the plate, and he's up with a 1-1 count, and there's another base knock. Okay, so Grote started around first, but he stays on first. Men on first and second now, nobody out, and up to the plate comes Ed Kranepool. Okay, Ed Kranepool batting against right-hander Wade Hoyt. Nobody out and 2 men on with a full count. He flies it out to Babe Ruth in right field, and Babe grabs it, pulls it in, and we have 1 out in the top of the second. Okay, now at the plate is the third baseman, Wayne Garrett, and a more lefty on righty action here. So let's see what he can do with a 1-strike count. He makes contact but hits it directly to Ruth. So Babe Ruth was involved in both of the outs. So it's first and second now with 2 outs. And Jerry Koosman, the pitcher, is at the plate. Let's see if Jerry can help his cause here a little bit. With a 2-1 count, he grounds it to the shortstop, who goes the short route to second and gets the force. So that is it for the Mets. They wasted 2 no-out base runners. They were on first and second with nobody out, and that's where they stayed. That's where they died on the base paths. But still, no errors, we can say that. So the game's got that going for it. No errors yet in the game. So we are going into the bottom of the second with the Yankees still leading 1-0. And Pat Collins is now up at the plate against Koosman with a full count. Hits it to short, and Harrelson got it and threw out, sent it over to Kranepool for the out. So 1 down, and we come up to Earl Combs. A little lefty on lefty action here. And let's see what he does with a 1-1 count. And it looks like it's going to drop for a knock. So there's a base hit for Earl Combs with 1 out. Now coming to the plate is Joe Dugan, and he is going to be facing the lefty Kuzman. Now with a 1-1 count. Is it going to be a double play? No, they don't get the out at first. The hard slide took him out, so they did not get a chance to get the double play. So there's a man on first now with 2 outs, and we have coming to the plate Mark Koenig facing lefty Kuzman. So righty on lefty action, and we continue on with a 3-1 count. There's a fly ball to center field, and it looks like he's going to pull it in. No errors again. We've gone through 2.5 innings of error-free baseball. Can you believe it? So, still, after 2 innings complete, 2 innings of errorless baseball, it's still 1-0, 1927 Yankees on top. Let's go ahead and move on to the top of the third. Cleon Jones, they are now going through the second time around the batting order with the Metropolitans. And Wade Hoyt on the mound, so it's righty on righty action here. So Cleon is up, and with a 2-ball count, he hits it, and it looks like it's going to fall for a hit. He is on with a no-out base knock, and he occupies first base with nobody out. Okay, coming up to the plate now is Ken Boswell, the second baseman. And with a full count, he hits it. Oh, there's our first error of the day, and it's on the Yankees. Yep. He throws the ball to first, and it sailed over Lou Gehrig's head. So the Mets have men on second and third now, nobody out, courtesy of the second baseman's error. Tony Lazzeri is now the GOAT. That's error number, 16 or whatever for the Yankees? I've lost count. I think it's 16 errors they have now, because they were sitting on 15, which averaged out to exactly 3 errors per game after Game 5. That's their 16th error of the series. Can you believe that junk? Excuse me, guys. Okay, now, top of the third, they're on second and third. They're really threatening. Nobody out, and Wade Hoyt has his hands full with Art Shamsky, lefty on lefty. What's Shamsky going to do? That's a leadoff count. They're going to let the run score, just like the Mets let the Yankees run score on a ground out. They traded the run for the out. So it's 1-1 now after, we're not all the way through the inning yet, but it is tied 1-1. It's only 1 out now, top of the third. Okay. So now we got Tommy Agee at the plate. Only 1 out, man on third base, and with a 1-2 count, Agee took strike 3 looking. So there's a backward K for Wade Hoyt. Okay. Oh no, they called it a swing and a miss. I did not see the swing. Okay, so not a backwards K after all, but it's still 2 outs now with the man on third, and Jerry Grody's coming up to the plate. Excuse me a second, please. Jerry Grody's up, and with a 2-2 count, it dropped in for a hit, and the Mets are now ahead 2-1. Holy moly, okay? And if they keep this up, I might jump ahead a little bit, and let's play a Game 7. Because like I said, I do need to get to the kitchen. Okay, so we have Grody on first. The Mets are ahead now, 2-1. They've scored 2 in the inning, mostly due to that error, that throwing error from Tony Lazzeri that allowed men to go to second and third with nobody out. That's your big culprit right there. The error rate is just amazingly bad. Okay, Bud Harrelson's at the plate, and with a full count, did it hit in? Yes, it did. It did jump in there for a hit, and Wade Hoyt is starting to stink up the joint here. He's given up another hit. That's the 5th one for the Metropolitans, and they have him on first and second now. First and second, yeah, they're on first and second. No, he went to third on the hit. So they're on first and third now with 2 outs, and coming up to the plate is Ed Kranepool, the first baseman, lefty on righty here. So let's see what Wade Hoyt can do against Mr. Kranepool with a 1-strike count. Okay, there's another base knock. It's 3-1 Mets. It's 3-1 Mets. Holy crap. First and second now. Still 2 outs. Keep going. And now we got Wayne Garrett, the third baseman, up. Wade Hoyt is ready with a 1-2 count. A nice ground ball there, but he tries to get it. He stopped it from going into the outfield, but not enough to stop the infield hit. So we have him now on first and second and third. The Ducks are all loaded on the pond for the next batter, who is, Jerry Koosman. And I guess the artificial intelligence is going to let Koosman bat for himself. Okay, with 2 outs, and they're ahead 3-1. They probably want to keep Koosman in there. He took strike 3 looking. So after 2.5 innings, the Mets hit him up for 3 big ones with 1 great big glaring error on Tony Lazzeri at second base. And it's 3-1 Mets. Now, what I'm going to do here, am I going to jump around? Or is it going to allow me to jump around? Okay. I don't think. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. There is. I don't have to do a pitch. Okay, so let's do. I'm going to jump ahead. Let's jump ahead to the 7th inning. Oh, crap. Look what we missed. The bottom of the 3rd, the Yankees came back with 4 runs of their own to take a 5-3 lead. Then the Mets came back with 2 in the top of the 4th to tie it up at 5. Then it's 7-5, then 7-6. Man alive. Okay, so the Mets are up, trailing by a run now, 7-6 after 6 complete. So, that we had a nice little fast forward there in the time machine. I wasn't expecting to see that much action. I certainly wasn't expecting to see that. But anyway, let's keep on going here. Herb Pennock is pitching now for the Yankees, and Bud Harrelson is up. Let's see who's pitching for the Mets now. They've got Ron Taylor now pitching for them. So I didn't see where he came in, but it had to be during that big 4-run 3rd inning that Kranepool finally got knocked out. So not Kranepool, Koosman. Jerry Koosman was the man on the mound. Okay, Harrelson is at the plate. Herb Pennock is pitching. So let's go with a 1-1 count. What's Harrelson going to do here? And he's a lazy fly ball to left field, and Bob Musil catches it, puts it away, and there's 1 down now in the top of the 7th. And Ed Kranepool is now up with a 1-1 count. Another out to Musil, and he catches it in left field. So with 2 down now, we are ready. And let's see, that would be a nothing pitch that he went swinging on. Knocks it out to center field, and he's on base with a base knock. 1 man on with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Can the Mets do anything with that 1 man on first base? Okay, let's see here now. First base, 2 outs, and gap shot. I think we're going to be tied up, folks. Oh no, they held him at 3rd. They held the man at third. That could have been a tie score, but the third base coach held him up. Okay, so let's see what happens with 2 men on and 2 men out. Top of the 7th for the Metropolitans. Cleon Jones, leadoff hitter. Okay, he is up and he is going to be swinging away. I'm ready to bet you with a 3-1 count. Oh, he hits it hard to third base. Dugan made the pickup and threw Cleon out. 7th inning stretch coming up. So they're playing the game, playing the organ there. Okay, so we are going to jump ahead a half inning. And the Yankees scored another run. Now it's 8-6. I'm going to jump ahead to the top of the 9th. Okay? Let's jump ahead to the top of the 9th and see if the Yankees hold on. Right? Oh yeah, they had 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th. It looks like the Yankees are in a good position to take this series and this game home. Look at that. 16 hits in the Yankees side of the ledger and 14 for the Mets. 30 hits in this ball game. Still, the one obligatory error that had to go to the Yankees. The 16th error of the series. And they're 3 outs away from hoisting a World Series trophy. Okay? With a full count, he draws a leadoff walk. So the Mets have a man on first, nobody out, and they still have to score 4 runs to stay alive in this game and in this series. Okay? So we have a said Cranepool up and Harrelson at first. Uh-oh, this looks like a double play ball. They did not get him at second, but they got the out at first. So, 1 out now. Harrelson on second base. And Cranepool is out with the first out of the top of the 9th inning. Bobby File is up. He is pinch hitting for the pitcher. Okay? So Ed Charles is going to be the next batter, apparently, because it looks like they did a double switch there in the batting order to accommodate a pitching change. Okay, so Herb Pennock on the mound. Bobby File is the pinch hitter here. So let's see what we can do here. With a 3-0 count, he hits it, right straight to the shortstop. Koenig hauls it in, and the 1969 Mets are down to their final out. And it looks like it's going to be up to Ed Charles to give them life. Will they get it? Here he goes with a 1-ball count. The pitch from Pennock. It's going to fall into left field for a base knock, and Harrelson's on third. They did not send him home. They did not send Harrelson home. So Ed Charles did his job. Now Cleon, who's been kind of lacking here lately, despite his 80 contact, it doesn't look like he's been getting much in the way of base knocks lately. Yeah, he has. He's batting .367. He has an RBI and a stolen base. So for a leadoff hitter, let's see if he can drive in a run or more for the Mets. And here we are with a 1-2 count. I can almost smell it here. He hits it, and second error of the game. Woo-hoo! The run comes in from third. He tried to go the short route to second base to get the force, and they muffed it. They absolutely muffed it on the throw. Oh, baby. 2 errors. Now that's 17th error of the series for the Yankees, and they're in the position to win the whole thing. 17 errors over 6 games. That just absolutely sucks out loud. Okay, so Ken Boswell's up, men on first and second. Still 2 outs. Can he continue this? Can he continue this with a no ball, no strike count? And it looks like that is it. He grounded out to second baseman, and the Yankees from 27 have won the series. They do the obligatory dance at center court, I guess you could say, for a mixed analogy for you. So that was an exciting little series. Went to 6 games, and the New Yorkers beat the New Yorkers 4-2, despite giving up 17, count them, 17 errors over 6 games. Dang near 3 errors per ball game. That is piss poor defense. I don't care. Any way you cut it, they were lucky to win the series based on that. Okay? So anyway, the groundskeepers were definitely on vacation. Yep. The Yip slider was way turned up. They did not have another miracle in them. Tiberius 2K, thank you for your follow on the channel. No dying on stream. No dying on stream. Oh, I can die, all right. If I can fall asleep on stream, it's fair game for me to die too. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Oh, hope I'm feeling better. Oh, Kamish. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. You guys are talking to the Fluffy Kitty Ninja Kamish. Yes. Yeah, okay, Kamish, I don't have COVID. I'm not sure. I've been hearing from one of my daughters that works in kind of a combination of healthcare and education. She does early childhood special programming services for kids at Children's Hospital in Cincinnati here. So she works in a hospital setting and in an educational setting, providing special needs services for the preschoolers that are in Children's Hospital, and also members of the community at large that depend on Children's Hospital for their special needs programming. But anyway, she tells me that she knows of a lot of people who had later, after an initial negative COVID test, tested again later and found out, yes, indeed, they had COVID. Now, my wife and I were sick with something that we wrote off as the flu, but we both only tested once, and we tested negative, and we tested early on in the game. We had run out of tests. We did not have enough tests for us to do another set of testing until sometime later when the government sent more tests out. I'm ready to bet you, dime get you $1, that what the wife and I had might very well have been COVID, based on what our daughter was telling us. That many people test negative, but come back and test again later, and they've got it. Okay? We may have actually had COVID once, but that's been several weeks ago, after we made a trip up north to visit family, and we came back, and within 2 to 3 days we were sick as a dog. Now, I don't think we caught it from family. I think we ended up catching it from any of the other myriad number of places where we stopped or did some shopping or did this or did that, maybe even in the hotel that we were in. So we could have picked up anything that we had there, and we wrote it off as being the flu because we tested negative for COVID, but we only did one test because that's all the tests we had. So it could have been very easily that we could have had COVID and just did not realize it because we were pretty doggone sick. But no dying on stream. I can fall asleep on stream, but I can't die on stream. Okay? And Kamish, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. You were sounding not too bad the other day when I was lucky enough to catch your stream. So let me see. Cavicom may be on. We're going to check and see if Cavicom is on or some other streamer is on. We're going to see if we can set ourselves up a raid and get out of here, because I need to get to the kitchen and start working on some pork roast that's in the crock pot. Yes, that seems to be the thing, is pork roast in the crock pot. And Kava is on. He has 16 viewers. We have 134, so we're about to send him up to 150 viewers on his channel. Now, granted, Kava will not be able to give you drops. He's not an affiliate, at least not yet. I hope that he puts in and gains affiliate status sometime, because he's one heck of a good guy. He's a really entertaining streamer. I hope that you folks have fun over there, and make sure that you give him all the Gorgo love. So we are going to be rating Mr. Kava. So be ready. And while we're setting up the raid, we're going to get ready to say bye-bye. Okay? And it's going to be Gorgo 2005, rounding third and heading for home. Have a great rest of the day, everybody, and a great evening. And we'll hope to catch everybody at 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, which will be our next stream. We will be ready and willing to open all the packs that we have on that particular occasion. So everybody take care. Catch you all later, and thanks a lot for being here. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Give Cavacom all the love. Bye-bye now.
Yeah, how are the Gorgo fans doing? We started this stream just under 7 hours ago with 4 playoff teams. We're down to our final playoff team, but we are in the league championship series, and we are up on the series 3 games to none. So we're about to watch the highlights for game number 4. And if we win, we'll be in the World Series. So Gorgo, tell me, man, how's your Sunday going? Gorgorians? Gorgorians. Thanks, Teddy. You're very helpful. All right, this is game 4. The